All right, Todd Monkin continuing to make moves to this Cleveland Browns staff. We got to get the right people in the building surrounding Shedeur Sanders. He made another move, another hire for chief of staff. So he out with the old, in with the new. If you was a part of that Kevin Stefanski sabotage crew, Todd Monkin is packing your ass up and getting you out immediately. He's wasted no time packing these dudes up and getting them out. We got to get into it. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, and hype the video. Let's get right into things. So, here it says the Browns are hiring John Carr as Todd Monken's new chief of staff. Carr is the head coach of Starksville High School football team in Mississippi. He was Monken's director of football operations at Southern Miss. So you got to remember Todd Monken with the Southern Miss and turn that program around single-handedly. And this man, John Carr, was a part of that. So again, he's bringing in guys that he feels like he can trust and believe in. So hey, Todd Monken continuing to make changes to this Cleveland Brown staff, and I absolutely love it. You see the first comment here. Head coach Todd Monken is building something very intentional. That's how real culture gets built with the Cleveland Browns, quietly, deliberately, and with purpose. I'm so excited. So, um, you know, a lot people are excited about the hire. Welcome to the squad, John Carr, and this is just another one of the guys that Todd Monken's bringing on board. Let's go over to UCSS. They was addressing some of the things about Todd Monken and Shedeur Sanders as well. Shedeur Sanders looking to have a big season. Let's get into it.
You can lose to the Ravens, you can lose to some of these upper echelon teams, but the Jets game was the after coming off a bye. That's the first time where I was like, it's not looking good. And it was really because like the manner in which they were losing. It wasn't like they was losing like these 35-31 barn burners. It was like the defense does its job for like half a game. The offense can't do anything, and then it kind of just like falls apart. Yeah. And then really the Tennessee game, that's when I was just like, the San Francisco game, when Kevin just for some random reason went for it on 4th and short on his side of the field. When they were kind of like in control of that game or in that game, I was just like, that was like one of the first times where I was like, Kevin like legitimately like lost in that game. And then the Titans game, when he took Shedeur off, and then the 2-point conversion got wrong, but I was like, yeah, it might be done. Like, it's just too many self-inflicted mistakes.
For me, it was the Bears game when they couldn't get lined up at the start of the game, right? Wasn't that Chicago? When they had
but that was like week 15, 16. I think by then it was like
that was to me was
final straw.
Well, not the final straw. I wouldn't have fired him. So it wasn't the final straw for me.
Well, not for you, but you. I'm saying you.
But
maybe that was.
But I watched the start of the Chicago game and said, I'm looking at Freddie. This is Freddie Kitchens level crap going on here. So I mean, it became pretty evident toward the end that this is how it was going to go.
Were you surprised? I mean, did you think Todd Monkin was a legit candidate?
I mean, one thing that stood out to me was that like while other people were like, withdrawing their name, and we can go over the semantics of it, like because they weren't going to get the job. Like, honestly, like I don't even know if Udinski was even really going to take this job. Honestly, like why would he need to take this job? Shieldhouse too, like.
Wait for a better option.
Yeah, and conversely, I'm not sure if they were as high, if the Browns were as high on them as like maybe like it was led to believe.
Yeah.
But the fact that Monken pretty much had that OC job with Harbaugh and the Giants in the bag, and he stuck it out the entirety of it. I think like throughout that, like you could you couldn't have discounted. Like we thought it was gonna be like Udinski and Chillhouse, or they were just gonna go to Schwartz, but Monken was there the entire time, and nobody was talking about him. And the fact that he like stood and he kept his name in there, that for sure. Like you couldn't have discounted. It was maybe a little bit of a surprise just because like nobody was really like thinking that he'd be the favorite. I think a lot of people locally, like fans, didn't really want him. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And now everybody's talked themselves into it, and
you got to. They talk themselves into Freddie too. So
that's true. He's no Freddie, obviously.
No, he's not. He's not.
But it must be refreshing that like 6 years. I mean, I know you weren't here for the whole time, but obviously, Kevin Stefanski doesn't say anything in press conferences, and Todd Monkin already.
He might say too much.
What's that?
He might say too much.
Yeah. I mean, the stuff with Jim Schwartz. What did you think of that? And how do you think the Schwartz stuff is going to resolve itself?
Well, it was funny because I got a text from somebody. I was just like, "Am I like missing this? Like, was he trying to like throw him under the bus?" And I'm like I was familiar with Todd just because of my Baltimore roots and everything, just keeping tabs on the AFC North. And if people don't know yet, like you're gonna quickly find out he's a straight shooter and he's almost like honest to a fault. So when he was like, I didn't take the job because of Jim Schwartz, like I don't think he meant it like to be incendiary. He was telling the truth. Like I didn't take it because of Jim.
Yeah, right.
But at the same time, when you have still that situation up in the air and on the outside, we don't really know how it's gonna play out or how it is playing out. It was awkward at best. And at its worst, it really led you. Like I was wondering, like what did that conversation? Because the first question was, "Have you spoken to Jim?" He said, "Yeah, I spoke to Jim."
Yeah,
that was it. And then finally, he was just like, "I don't want to comment on that." Yeah. And then he went, and he was like, "I'm gonna comment on that all the way." So now I'm left wondering, like, well, what is that conversation? What did that conversation sound like? And it led me to like really question if Jim Schwartz is gonna be back because that didn't sound like.
Yeah.
The introductory press conference didn't sound like a head coach who was anticipating he'll be back.
These two came to blows a half hour ago over Schwartz.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
There was a strong disagreement about how Jim has handled this whole thing. How do you think this ends with him? And how do you think he has handled the rejection?
Well, the reports was that he like stormed out the building and said he's not coming back. And I'm like... I don't know. It leads me back to like, what was the process like? Because I mean, from Jim's perspective, and I'm gonna have some like empathy for Jim. Like, you know, he's about to turn 60 later this year. He's talked about wanting to be a head coach again, and this is not the first time. This is the second time he got passed over to be the head coach. Because you know, in 2020 they interviewed him. They hired Stefanski, so I can understand some frustration there. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, you're under contract. Like that's like there's no like you're under contract, man. Like I don't, unless you're gonna retire. Like
you could retire.
Like I don't think like the team not just gonna let him go to Philly or go.
You don't think so?
I mean, they could.
Yeah. They let Shanahan out.
They could because it might. But I think bigger picture like. Well, I also wonder, like, does Monken want to keep him?
At this point, right, yeah.
And yeah, like, did he want to keep him? Does he want to keep him after the conversations? Because I think bigger picture, and even when we was talking about, like, who they were going to hire as head coach, I didn't think that it was right to make a mandate that the new head coach had to keep Schwartz. I didn't think it was... I thought it was fine if you said, hey, we really like the defense, we like the defensive staff, da-da-da.
Yeah.
But philosophically, like, if you're bringing in a head coach, like, you're not bringing him just to turn around the offense. You're hiring him to lead the entire team.
Yeah.
So if that coach wanted to make some changes, like bring in a new defensive coordinator, I think it sends a bad message and it sets a bad precedent if you say that new head coach has to keep Jim Schwartz.
And by the way,
you're pushing him to do that.
Yeah.
He's the finalist for the job that you have.
Yeah,
so
it's
not.
So you gotta understand that like there might be some some awkwardness and some animosity there, and he might want to go his separate way.
Like Atlanta did this to an extent, but Albrecht never interviewed for the head coach job. Like it was clear.
They just put him on ice, and they was like, you can't be a DC for another team until we figure out the head coaching situation.
Yeah.